Imagine a muscle car that vanished from American roads for decades, only to roar back in 2026 with a modern twist. The new AMC Hornet isn't just a revival. It's a bold attempt to blend old-school attitude with today's performance and tech. Some say it's a forgotten classic reborn for a new generation, while others believe it may never live up to the legends it's trying to follow. But is the Hornet truly the muscle edition that will shake up the modern market? Or just nostalgia wrapped in fresh metal? Let's find out. The AMC name hasn't been on a dealership lot for decades, but in 2026 it's making a surprising comeback with the Hornet Muscle Edition. For car fans who remember the golden era of American performance, AMC was always the underdog, bold, different, and willing to take risks. Now the Hornet returns as a modern muscle machine aimed at buyers who want the raw spirit of the past, but with today's comfort and technology built in. Positioned between nostalgic collectors and a new generation of drivers hungry for something unique, this launch is more than just another release. It's AMC's statement that it still belongs in the muscle car conversation. But does this reborn Hornet have what it takes to stand out against modern legends? We're about to find out. From the moment you lay eyes on the 2026 AMC Hornet Muscle Edition, it's clear this isn't just a nameplate revival, it's a bold statement. The design strikes a balance between retro and modern. A wide, aggressive grille sits front and center, flanked by sharp LED headlights that nod to the past, but feel distinctly 2026. The muscular stance, sculpted hood lines and wide rear haunches scream performance before you've even touched the ignition. It's the kind of styling that makes you want to stop and take a second look, whether it's parked on the street or rolling up at a car meet. Step inside, and the story continues. The interior doesn't try to overwhelm with gimmicks, but instead blends classic cues with modern convenience. A flat-bottom steering wheel, metallic trim accents, and deeply bolstered sports seats remind you that this is built for drivers who care about control. Yet, there's also a massive infotainment screen with seamless smartphone integration, customizable digital gauges, and premium touches like stitched leather surfaces. It feels familiar, yet forward-thinking. A cockpit ready for weekend cruising or daily commutes. But here's where things really get interesting. Performance. Under the hood, the Hornet Muscle Edition offers a turbocharged V6 with over 400 horsepower. Plenty of muscle for a name that demands respect. Power delivery is smooth but urgent, with a low growl that quickly builds into a roar as you push the pedal down. Paired with an advanced 8-speed automatic and available all-wheel drive, the Hornet doesn't just sprint off the line, it grips, corners, and plants itself with surprising confidence. It's not trying to be a pure drag strip monster like the Dodge Challenger of old, but rather a more balanced muscle car that adapts to modern roads. Of course, no car is perfect. The Hornet's size means rear seat space is a little tighter than some rivals, and while the suspension is tuned for agility, it can feel firm over rough city streets. Yet those compromises might be a fair trade for enthusiasts who value sharper handling and that unmistakable driver's car vibe. Technology and safety also play a big role here. You've got adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, a head-up display, and even a performance data recorder for track days. It's clear AMC wants this car to be more than nostalgia. It's aiming to compete with today's standards while keeping that rebellious edge alive. And then there's pricing, something that might surprise you. AMC knows it can't just rely on heritage to win over buyers, so the Hornet is expected to undercut some of its bigger-name muscle rivals. The question is, will that make it a hidden gem for enthusiasts, or does it signal corners cut somewhere we haven't uncovered yet? Either way, the Hornet has positioned itself as one of the most intriguing comebacks in recent memory. But here's the real test. How do these bold promises hold up in real-world driving, and does the value truly match the hype? Stick around, because the results might surprise you. And then comes the moment of truth, the drive. Sliding behind the wheel, you're greeted with that low, throaty rumble as the Hornet comes alive. On paper, 400-plus horsepower sounds solid, but in motion, it feels like the car's been waiting decades to prove itself. Acceleration is sharp and immediate, pushing you back into the seat with the kind of force that makes your pulse quicken. The Turbo V6 doesn't just deliver numbers, it delivers personality. With a growl that builds into a roar as you climb through the gears. But here's the twist. It's not just about straight-line speed. AMC has given the Hornet a chassis that actually wants to dance. Take it through a winding back road and you'll find a balance of grip and agility you wouldn't expect from a name tied so heavily to brute muscle. The steering is precise, the suspension planted, and the confidence it inspires puts it in the same conversation as cars with much higher price tags. Of course, it's not flawless. Push hard on rough pavement, and you'll feel every bump. It reminds you this is still a performance-first machine. And while the cabin tech is slick, some might find it a step behind the polish of its more established rivals. But when you're flying down an open stretch of asphalt, carving corners with a grin plastered across your face, those nitpicks fade into the background. This is the turning point where the Hornet stops being just a nostalgic experiment and starts feeling like a genuine contender. It doesn't just bring back a forgotten badge, it gives it new meaning. And the question lingering now is simple. Does all this excitement add up to a car worth buying, or is it still a gamble in a market full of heavy hitters? That's exactly what we'll answer in the final verdict. So, what's the final word on the 2026 AMC Hornet Muscle Edition? After spending time with it, one thing is clear. This isn't just a nostalgic name slapped on a modern shell. It's a car with real muscle, real personality, and a surprising amount of balance for a newcomer in today's performance market. The Hornet proves that AMC didn't return just to remind us of the past. It came back to earn its place among the present. The strengths are undeniable. Bold styling that stands out in a sea of sameness. A cabin that blends retro charm with everyday usability. And most importantly, performance that doesn't just flash numbers, but delivers a genuine thrill every time you drive it. Add in competitive pricing, and you've got a muscle car that's accessible to both enthusiasts reliving the old days and younger buyers searching for something different. But we have to be honest, the Hornet isn't perfect. Rear seat space is tight. Ride comfort can feel harsh on rough roads. And while the technology suite is solid, it's not quite as polished as rivals from Dodge or Ford. Those compromises mean this won't be the ideal daily driver for everyone. Instead, it's best suited for buyers who want character over conformity, performance over plushness, and the pride of owning something that feels rare and distinctive. In today's US market, where many muscle cars are fading into history books, the Hornet stands out as a sign of resistance. It's proof that there's still room for excitement, for individuality, and for brands willing to take risks. Whether it sparks a wider trend of reviving forgotten legends remains to be seen. But the Hornet has already proven one thing. Muscle isn't dead, it's just evolving. Now the big question, would you take the keys to the Hornet over a Mustang, a Camaro, or even a Challenger? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the review. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the cars shaping our future.